Iris, and this is technically my first YouTube video.
So, back in 2019, I was a freshman in high school, and now I'm a freshman in college. So when I was a freshman in high school, I had this YouTube channel. I would do things like truth or dare with my sisters. What's in our book bag with my sisters? And I did like 2 vlogs. So now that I'm in college, I wanna start YouTube again. You know, I wanna talk about stuff that I really care about and like, and I'm gonna do vlogs. And this for my sit down videos. That's gonna be like superheroes, like Marvel and DC. I'm gonna talk about cartoons, kiddie cartoons, and adult cartoons, and maybe even musicals. So just like stuff that I'm interested in and I like talking about. And I have at least 2 vlogs planned. Maybe like in the new year I can do like what's like a week of my life as a college student. Okay, so for this video I'm gonna be talking about the Arrowverse. And if you don't know, the Arrowverse is the superhero shows that are on the CW. So that has Arrow, Flash, DC Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Batwoman, and Black Lightning. Some like honorable missions that are still DC TV but are not. Arrowverse is Superman and Lois, Stargirl, Gotham Knights, and Naomi. So, Superman and Lois, I am gonna sort of count as Arrowverse because like we all assumed it was until like they did something in one of the seasons. It's like yeah, we're not part of Arrowverse. So, in this video I'm gonna be talking about Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Batwoman. As those are the 4 Arrowverse shows I watched. I didn't watch Arrow, Stargirl, Superman and Lois, or Black Lightning. So.
I vividly remember the day I started watching Flash. I started watching Flash the day that season 3 of Stranger Things came out because I was like so starved for Marvel. This is for Disney Plus. So I was trying to find something superhero related to watch on Netflix, but I couldn't find anything. So I started watching Flash, and I was like so excited when in the first episode when it was like there's this girl named Iris and she's black because I'm Iris and I'm black. So I wrote down like a list of just things I don't like about the show. But regardless of everything I'm saying, Flash has such a special place in my heart because that's really what started me on Arrowverse. There was like 2018 to like 2022 where Arrowverse was just like my life. Even like earlier this year, 2023, I really stopped watching Arrowverse when Legends got canceled and Batwoman got canceled. That's just like where Arrowverse ended for me. I didn't finish the last season of Flash, and I'm gonna talk about why. So these are just like some of my grievances against the Flash, and there are gonna be some good things. So my first grievance is Iris and Barry are quite literally siblings.
So Barry's mom was killed by Reverse Flash, but the dad got framed. So Joe West, Iris' dad, adopted Barry. So it's like literally they are siblings. I thought that was so weird how they put them together even though they're siblings. Oh,
Reason number 2 is Cecile. So Cecile was introduced in the show in season 3 or 4. She was originally a DA or a lawyer, but then as the show progressed, she's not that anymore. And like in the last like 2 seasons, season 8 and season 9, she became like the main character, and I thought that was so annoying, especially for the final season. I feel like the final season should have been just Barry. Like there were a few episodes where Barry wasn't even in it, and it's his show. So I really say that Cecile did not need a suit, she did not need a mask, she did not need a name, and she also did not need to leave her day office. I really love Cecile. And whatever season they were fighting the dude in the chair, I can't think of his name right now. But whatever season that was, that's where Cecile should have been. She should have been a DA. So next is Chester and Allegra. Those 2, they were introduced in season 7, I want to say. And I don't really like them together. I feel like after that first kiss, they should have either got together or like stopped being together. I feel like it was a very will they won't they situation. I feel like they should have just got together. They're going to be together. And it just took up so much screen time. Like,
oh, I don't really want to be with Chuck. Oh, I need Chuck. I don't want nobody else to love Chuck.
And it's just and it was just so annoying to watch. It really pissed me off how much screen time they got. And then Allegra, she had 2 entire episodes dedicated to her and her sibling, her and her cousin. And those are like the worst rated episodes of Flash total. And it's like, it's nothing against the actors. And like, even with Cecile, there is nothing against her. It's completely the writers and the producer, Eric Wallace. I think somebody had to have some type of dirt on that man, Eric Wallace, for him to put so much effort into those 2. It's just so annoying. Okay, so next is, this is like an unpopular opinion. I think season 7 is really where it dropped off for me. So everyone says that season 5 was really bad because Nora was there and nobody liked Nora. I liked Nora. I didn't have any problem with her at all. I loved her being there. I thought she was funny. But people say that she's like the drop of the show. But I stuck it out. Like, I thought season 6 was really good. Like the whole Mirrorverse episode, the Mirrorverse situation. I thought it was like really cool. I feel like it was sort of drawn out a while. I feel like it could have been solved quicker. But Also, I don't like how it was literally saw with a pep talk. Like, you have this powerful Eva Mulligan. Was that her name? Whatever. You had her. She was powerful. And it's like, you solved this with a pep talk. I feel like pep talks were like so much. And one of the crossovers, I think it was Crescent on X-Earth, Oliver told Barry, he was like, you can't go a day, you can't go more than a few hours without a motivational talk. And it's like, as rude as that was and how unwarranted it was true. Like, a lot of things were just solved with pep talks. And I just... So next, these three like sort of go together because it's all technically one character. It was one body, but different people. I'm talking about Caitlyn, Frost, and Keon. First of all, the way that they killed Caitlyn was so disrespectful. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of Caitlyn, but she was literally there. She's part of Team Flash, like the OG Team Flash, Cisco, Barry, and her. And I thought it was so disrespectful that they killed her off screen. They didn't like really grieve her. I feel like it just felt like, okay, Caitlyn's gone, so here's Keon. I thought that was really rude. Next was killing Frost. So I loved Frost. People were like, oh, Caitlyn and Frost shouldn't have switched bodies. I had no problem with that. I love that they switched bodies. No, not switched bodies, split up. I love that. It's like, that's a sister. Like, that's literally your sister. She was there to protect you. Like, that's your sister. And so I liked when they split off, but I didn't like that they killed off Frost. I feel like it was like no point. It was sort of like this. Oh, we could bring her back. We're working on bringing her back. And because she died, they brought on Keon, and we're gonna get Keon, but Frost's boyfriend, like he was just there. Like, I didn't really like him. I didn't really care if he was there or not. I feel like he was wasting up screen time. So that brings me to Keon. Keon, after Caitlyn died, it was like, Keon's here. And I don't know, I didn't like Keon. She was like earthy. I feel like she was like too different from everybody. I didn't really like how she was able to tell Iris that she was pregnant. I don't know. I didn't like that. I don't like her. I think it was a waste. I think it was really disrespectful to kill Caitlyn and Frost and then just bring this girl in. Like, we didn't want her. I'm sorry. I also don't know if Keon has any significance in the comics, because I don't know. I didn't really do a lot of research on the comics about this, because I'm one of those people that's like,
oh, the comics did this, the comics did that. It's like, then go read the comics. That's how I am. I'm not like that just with Flash. I'm like that with all DC, all Marvel. It's like, if you love the comics so bad, go watch the comics. Go read the comics. That's how I am.
Okay. So, the last is Cisco didn't come back for the finale. And that was not anybody's fault. The dude that plays Cisco, his name is Carlos. He was filming something on Hulu, so he quite literally could not be there. And I don't know, it was just really sad. I feel like a little video like, oh, here's Carlos or something. I don't know. I feel like that would have been cute. But obviously that wasn't realistic. That's nobody's fault. That's whatever. Next is the inconsistent time travel rules. So this sort of pairs with Legends, because Legends is about time travel. So one thing that I really put out was like, you cannot interfere with your past at all. And right here it says that Nora knows about the OG Nora. Like, okay, so in season 5,
Nora died. The OG Nora died. So we had this new Nora come back. So new Nora knows about the OG Nora. And I feel like that has to break some type of context. Like how did you have OG Nora die and the new Nora came back in her exact same body, different personality? And then also the new Nora, she was in the season finale. I feel like series finale. I feel like she was holding baby Nora. I swear I saw this on her. And I just feel like on some type of level that breaks some type of time space continuum rules or something.
So next is, this is so weird to me. I feel like Candace Patton and Grant Gustin, they play Iris and Flash, Barry. I feel like they said this was weird too, but they were literally the parents of the forces. I can't remember what the forces are. I feel like it's like the Speed Force or something. Like, they were all split up into like different people, and they were technically the parents of the forces. I think that's so weird to call them the parents. I feel like we just shouldn't be like, oh, you're the guardians or you're in charge of them. Like, I just think it was weird to like say, okay, you know what? These people were born because you two love each other or something stupid like that. I don't know what it was. You two love each other, so you're parents. I feel like that's really weird, especially when they would call them like mom and dad. I thought that was so weird. One thing that has been bugging me so bad was in like season, I really want to say 4 or 5. It had to be. Cecile and Joe had a kid. Her name was Jenna.
And she was just not talked about at all. Like, I feel like she was in one specific episode, I remember, because they had something with a book bag or something. And they mentioned her in the future. It's like, oh, where's Jenna? It's like, she's not here. We don't know. She doesn't talk to us. Or something like that. It's just like, why would you go through the trouble of making Cecile have a kid if you're not going to introduce the kid? And I understand, like, they were shooting this in 2020. There was supposed to be a kid, but COVID happened and they didn't want to get a kid sick. But I feel like if that's it, at least talk about her and be like, oh, we don't want to die
like me nitpicking like details and stuff. But on the Supergirl crossover, Barry went to Supergirl. He was like, I need roughly 10,000 calories a day because I have super metabolism, and they just didn't show that. And I feel like after a while, yeah, it could have got annoying. Like, oh, why is the Judo was eating? But Young Justice did that with Wally West, where like Wally, any chance he got, he was eating. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's such a small detail. I'm probably nitpicking, but that's just how, like, I would have liked to see that.
So season 3, that was Flashpoint. Season 3 had Flashpoint. So Flashpoint in the comics is where Barry went back and saved his mom from dying, from being killed by Thawne, and it had like so many unnecessary consequences. So in the Flash, it was like Cisco had a brother, and the brother died. And I feel like that is completely justified. I feel like a close comparison would be Bucky killing Iron Man's parents and then Iron Man being mad. I feel like, okay, yeah, she did lose somebody. But if memory serves, in the show, Cisco didn't even know his brother. He just knew he had a brother that was now dead. And that's just because a big part of, what's crossover? A big part of Invasion, that was a crossover. That's my bad video. Cisco was just like pissed that his brother was gone. He was like, oh, we're not friends, we'll just work together and stuff like that. And it's just like, you didn't know your brother. Like, I understand the pain, like you lost your sibling, but like you didn't know him, so it didn't really affect you. And it's like, what Barry did was really irresponsible. But if anybody had the power to go back and see their parents and save their mom from being killed and their dad from being in prison, you would take that chance. I understand why Barry did it. And it's just like, he didn't do it with like malicious intent. Of course the intention doesn't change like the consequences of what happened. But like, Cisco didn't remember his brother. He didn't know his brother. All he knew was, I have a brother, he's dead because of Barry. Like, I understand why Cisco was mad, but I feel like it was just so annoying. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know if that made sense. Or like, cause I feel like what I said was sort of contradictory, but like, it makes sense in my head. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so next in the last season, one of the big bads was Red Death, which was like Batwoman. And I'm just really confused about that. Like, why did it have Batwoman's face? And what was the point if we're gonna have Cobalt Blue? If we're gonna have Blue, I don't know. I feel like there should have been one big bad in season 9 that like it used to be, or like half the season dealt with Red Death, half the season dealt with Thawne or Cobalt Blue. You know what I'm trying to say. I feel like that's how they should have split it up, honestly. So next is Cisco giving up his powers in the season 5 finale. This is actually, I vividly remember watching this, and I was so mad. I watched it with my little sister, and she threw a water bottle at the TV. We were so pissed because I don't understand why he gave up his powers. He could have just stopped using his powers. And I feel like I want to remember like he gave up his powers because
it was like a risk or something for somebody, for himself. It was like, just don't use your powers unless it's like absolutely necessary. He didn't have to give them up permanently. I tell someone. And he was still on the show. Like, he was still there. He was still putting himself at risk. All he had to do was not use his powers. And I'm being so mad about that. Like, it just really made me mad.
So I'm actually going to make a video about this next point because Batman also has this rule. It's this no killing rule. So, and
Crisis on X Earth. I'm going to talk about the crisis later. But towards the end of the battle, Barry let Thawne go. He was going to kill him. He had his vibrating hand, like, and all he had to do was stick his hand into Thawne's chest and kill him. But you know what he did instead? He said, get out of here. I disagree so bad with heroes with a no killing rule. I don't believe that villains should just go around killing every villain. But you're a mortal enemy. He killed your mom. You thought he was dead and he came back. Why would you not finish off the job temporarily? Like, Thawne's gonna come back. That's his reality. He's gonna come back. But I don't understand why you just let him go. You didn't arrest him or anything. He just left. And I watched that yesterday. So I talked about it for a feature video. That pissed me off so bad how he just let Thawne go. It's like, okay, what you did was horrible. You let the Nazis come. But I'm gonna let you go anyways because I don't kill. That was so annoying. And I feel like if you're gonna let him go, you should have had Oliver there because Oliver doesn't have that no killing rule. Oliver killed his counterpart. I feel like the counterpart's probably gonna die anyways because his wife died. I'm talking about that video. But I feel like Oliver should have finished Thawne off. Somebody should have finished Thawne off. It would have been a beautiful, cathartic moment if you just killed Thawne. I really hate the no killing rule.
okay, so my next 2 points are 2 things that I really do love about the Flash. So the first one is Cisco and his ability to have problems with every one of the Welleses they brought in. Like, he would sit here and beef with all the Welleses, and it was so cute. It was so funny. And I feel like that really that's like a part of the real actors that they brought on screen, like Tom Wells and Carlos. I feel like those two have a great dynamic in real life, and that's why like all the Welleses, he'd sit here and argue with all of them. I thought it was really cute. I really did love that. And out of all the Welleses, my favorite would have to be Sherlock. I think he was like really funny, like unintentionally. I thought it was really, I love Sherlock. Like, those are the 2 things I do love about the Flash. There's a lot of things I love about the Flash. Like, despite everything I'm listing off that I don't like about the show, I really do love Flash. It has such a special place in my heart because that started off the Arrowverse. Okay, so next I'm going to be talking about Supergirl. Supergirl is, I think it's the 3rd Arrowverse show I started watching. I think it went Flash, Legends, Supergirl. That's what I want to say. So, something that I had a problem with Supergirl was this is not really just a problem with Supergirl. This is a problem with like almost anything involving Krypton. So first, it's like all these Kryptonians keep emerging. First it went Superman is the lone survivor, nobody else survived. Then it's like his cousin survived actually, she was sent here to protect him. And then Supergirl was like Supergirl's aunt, Supergirl's mom was the twin, and her twin was evil. And it's crazy and wanted to kill Supergirl. And then in like season 3, whatever season it had Rain in, it's like, oh, a bunch of witches from Krypton also survived. The problem is they keep marketing Superman as the lone survivor of Krypton, but in reality, there's a whole bunch of people. And actually, half the population of Krypton survived because they were all on Argon. Like, it just, like, genuinely, it's just pretty confusing and sort of annoying. Just like, okay, stop marketing Superman as the lone survivor of Krypton when you're good and well there's a whole other planet that Kryptonians survived on. It's just really annoying. Okay, so my next point is Maggie. Maggie, she was a police officer, SWAT team, something. I don't know what she did. I really hated Maggie, y'all. So Maggie dated Alex, and on the show they broke up because Alex wanted kids, Maggie didn't. But in actuality, the actress that played Maggie, she was going to a different TV show. And I really hated Maggie. I really don't know what about that lady bugs me so bad. But I really cannot stand her, so I was really happy when she left the show. Next is James and Lena. So, James is Jimmy Olsen, Superman's best friend. He's a photographer. And Lena Luthor is Lex Luthor's sister. And they put them together and it's like, they were dating. And I thought that was really weird. Like, I feel like the actress, I feel like they didn't really have chemistry. I feel like although there's this one scene where he had his shirt off and Lena was in front of him. I thought that was it was really iffy to watch. I can't really describe it. I feel like that was a very awkward couple. That sort of leads to my next one, which was the queer baiting. So the queer baiting is when you have these two characters and they're the same sex, obviously, and they should be together, and it's really obvious that they want to be together, but the writers just refuse to put them together. Like, so people keep watching and be like, okay, are they going to get together? They're not going to get together. And they did that with Lena and Kara, Supercorp. And I am a Supergirl shipper, and I feel like in the final episode, like Sirius Malley, they should have just got together. Like, at this point, they had such a great fan base. The actresses, Melissa Benoist and Katie McGrath, whatever, they were like, yeah, I support this, let's do it. And then, I don't know who to blame, but everyone on Twitter blamed Jessica Queller. So, Jessica Queller, I don't understand why you sat here and queer baited us for literally, like, 6 seasons. I don't understand. Like, if everybody was good with the men together, what's the problem? Why did you put Lena with James? That was such an ugly pair. Now, that being said, I actually, despite me being a Supercorp shipper, I actually liked Monel and Kara. I thought that was like the cutest little couple, and they're dating in real life. So, like, I wasn't too bad about it. So those two were together. But then they sent Monel away, and then he was like, oh, I'm in the future, and I got married. I thought that was crazy. I feel like they divorced and they got together in the end. I might be tripping. I gotta rewatch the finale. So there's that. And then they put Kara with William, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. I didn't agree with the dude that played William getting death threats. But I feel like them killing William, that was definitely like to make fans happy. It's like, oh yeah, we know we put Kara with this dude, we're gonna kill him. I feel like that's what happened. So I didn't really care that he died. It was like the end of the show anyways, and he got his check regardless. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the queer baiting. I feel like they should have either put them together or strictly said they're not gonna be together. Okay, so my next point is the constant comparison to Superman. So like in the first few seasons, actually probably throughout the entire show, every time Supergirl did something, it'd be like, Superman did it faster. Oh, you're so much stronger than Superman. Superman could never. And it's just like, we get it. They're cousins. They're both super. They came from the same family and all that stuff. But the constant comparison was so annoying. It's like, you want Supergirl to be her own thing, but you want to keep saying, here's Superman, here's what Superman did. And I just, like, even in, like, I think it was the first episode where she stopped the oil rig, and the dude was like, well, what are you just standing there for? Superman would have been blasted the fire with his freeze breath or whatever. And I just, everything she did, no matter what she did, it would always be compared to Superman. Like, it was just one scene in one of the crossovers, and it was like, sorry, I just went. And they were like, thank you, Superman, we couldn't have done it without you. And then she was like, I bet you could. And he's like, he motioned to Supergirl, and he's like, all you gotta do is say thank you. Like, Supergirl, and her all right, I think she's more powerful than him, personally. But still. So next is about Lena. So, if you didn't know, Lena was the last person to figure out that Supergirl, to find out that for her to be told that Supergirl was Kara. And I feel like that initial hurt, that was really real and really understandable. Like, everyone knew, you probably thought everyone was laughing at you. Oh, look at Lena, she doesn't know Kara was Supergirl. Ha ha ha. And I, sorry. And I feel like that initial hurt was really great, was really understandable. But her trying to kill Kara and the Fortress of Solitude, I feel like that was sort of a psychopath move of Lena. Like, genuinely, like, okay, that's Supergirl. You want to rid the world of Supergirl because she didn't tell you who she was? And also, I feel like no matter when, it was showed on the show, like, no matter when Kara told her that she was Supergirl, Lena would have reacted horribly. Or someone would have died or something. So it was like, Lena being mad was literally a fixed point. That's like a Legends term. Like, that was literally a fixed point. And I don't know, I feel like Lena might have taken it too far. Okay, so the last thing is about Dreamer. So Dreamer has this sister. Well, Dreamer's family line has like these powers that get passed down to like one of the girls in the family. And Dreamer got the powers, and Dreamer, I don't know why I keep saying Gina. Dreamer is trans, and Dreamer's sister was like, you're not even a real girl. And it's like, you let that slide? I would never let anybody talk to me like that, regardless of the situation. I wouldn't even let my sister talk to me like that. Cause like, that was like unnecessarily transphobic, I feel like. I don't know. Okay, so the next show I'm going to be talking about is DC Legends of Tomorrow. This is personally my favorite Arrowverse show, but I did have some stuff to say about it. Most of this is like happy or good positive things, or just things that like was a problem amongst all the shows. So the first thing I have is they underpowered the Hawk so bad, y'all. So like in the comic books, Shiera or Kendra, I really like how they combined their stories, where it's like Shiera was the past, this is the reincarnate of Kendra. I really like that, actually. But like, they underpowered the Hawk really bad. Like, Kendra was really strong. Hawkman, I don't think I've ever seen him like really in anything. At least for Hawkgirl, I saw her in Justice League, the animated series. And it's like, yeah, she's strong. So it's like, I didn't mind. It's my lip, not my nose. And it's like, Hawkman literally died in the first episode. And he was dead for like most of the season. And I thought that like really underpowered them. Like, if they worked together, if she liked him, they would be like the ultimate couple. Like, they really got underpowered. So next thing is they kill Leonard Snart. So Snart started off on Flash, and then he was recruited to be on Legends. And I feel like something about him dying had to do with the actor wanting to leave the show or having something else lined up. But like, I was distraught when Snart died. Like, I don't know, I really did love Snart. It was a beautiful sacrifice. And I liked how like sometimes they brought him back from like different Earths. I love Snart. Okay, so next thing I do, it's in the later season. I want to say season 5 or 6. It was pitting Charlie against Astra. They were in like, I think they were in hell. And they were like beefing the entire time. I just didn't like how they had these two fighting against each other. Like, I'm not one of those people to like bring race. They had the two black girls fighting against each other. And I just didn't really like that. I feel like they should have been partnering like against John or something. John Constantine. I feel like I would have liked that. Next is talking about Amaya. Amaya was so annoying. She was like really proper. She had like a lot of morals, and I feel like she sort of used her morals as a reason to stand up against everybody else. And I thought that was really annoying. And something else that really bugged me was like, it was on the casting, but in the comics, I know I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, go read the comics, but I think it would have been cool because she was supposed to be dark skinned, and her granddaughter was dark skinned. Her granddaughter's name started with a K. I can't remember it. I can't pronounce it. Kawasa. It was Kawasa. Kawasa was dark skinned. And I would have liked Vixen to be dark skinned like she was in like the comics and other adaptations. But of course, if I want that, I can go look at those other adaptations. Like, But I don't know. I think her character was more what annoyed me more than like the incorrect skin tone. I feel like that's what the problem. So next is Mona. Mona, she was, I don't remember exactly how she got introduced to the show, but I remember she was so freaking annoying. She was like part werewolf, part human or whatever. And she, like every time she was on screen, I just wanted to turn the TV off. I think I probably considered stop watching the show because of how annoying she was. I was so happy when she left the show, y'all. It's like, I feel like she tried, like her character was supposed to be like Gary, but it just felt pretty bad. Like, I really loved Gary, but I don't know what about Mona was so annoying. So the next point I actually got from the dude that plays Nate Haywood himself. His name starts with an N in real life. I don't know why it's not coming to me. But he pointed out like, oh, we just killed that guard. We don't know if it was important to the timeline. So it was like, they go back in time and they like just kill people. And I was like, well, what if that person was important to the timeline and he's dead? I just think that was like pretty inconsistent. I feel like I was like a little inconsistent, but it's okay. Next is Ava. When Ava was first introduced, I could not stand that girl. She was just like an angry woman in a pantsuit. But like as the show got on and went on, and when she got with Sarah, that's when she got likable. And at the end, I really loved Ava. Ava was one of my favorites. Okay, so I was looking at my list, and everything else I had was like the positives. So like I said, Legends is my favorite part of this show. My favorite show of the Arrowverse. So now I'm going to be listing off some things that I really did love. So, in season 1, Sarah was the assassin. She was prepared to kill everybody on that ship. And then by the end of this show, she was literally the mom of the ship, her and Ava. And I love that character progression for her. I love the character progression for Mick Rory. Like, he also was ready to kill anybody. And by the end, he literally left this show so he could be with his daughter. And I don't know, I really love that they didn't stay one-dimensional throughout the whole show. They progress as like, oh, I'm stuck on the ship with these people. I actually care about them. I actually love them. And I just really love that. I love that. So Legends actually, in my opinion, had the best 100 episode out of all the shows in the Arrowverse. I don't remember, I actually don't remember any of the other ones' 100 episode. It just wasn't memorable. But the 100th episode for Legends was actually, what they did. Oh yeah, so they had to go, Gideon lost her memories and she had to go back. And it was just like reminiscing on like the old team, the OGs. They had the Hawk people, they had Snart, they had Rory, they had Jax. And it really did show me like, wow, I really do miss the old seasons. But the show progressed and it never was worse in new seasons. Like, that's something I really loved about Legends. Like, because it didn't take itself seriously, it didn't have to hold itself to like a certain standard like Flash and Supergirl had to do. And they had a revolving cast, so it's like, yeah, all these people are all different. Like, I don't really know like how I'm trying to phrase this. I'm trying to say like Legends, it progressed over the years and it never got worse. It didn't have like a horrible season. I loved all the seasons. That's like not something I can say for many shows that I actually do watch. Like, it never got worse. It made a plateau at some points, but it didn't get worse. It got better. That's something I really do love about this show. So, talking about progression, I probably should have said this when I mentioned Sarah and Mick, but Jax and Professor Stein, their relationship, because remember when they got on the show, when they got on the ship, they didn't really like each other. Like, Jefferson didn't even want to be on the ship. He actually got drugged to be on the ship, and he actually ended up loving it. And I don't know, and then, that was a little iffy now I'm thinking about it. I don't know why they did that. But, by the end, and Crisis on X-Earth, when Professor Stein died, Jax was like, please don't leave me, please don't die. And they called each other father and son. And that's just like really cute. They literally went from hating each other to loving each other and being father and son. I don't know, I really like how Legend had progression for all of the characters. Like, every character grew. For example, Zari, when she first got on the ship, she was really mean to everybody. And like, because she lived in a time where food was scarce, she would like eat a lot. And then by the end, it's like, she didn't really sacrifice herself as much as she was just erased from the timeline. But I don't know, I really love Zari's progress around the show. I like how she also bonded with Amaya and Charlie, because it was the same actress. They were like just two completely different people. And I like how she really bonded with them. I like how she bonded with Nate. Like, Zari, she really didn't trust anybody. She was like, there's no reason for me to be on this ship. I don't trust any of y'all. I love y'all. And that's something that also happened with, I can't remember her name right now, but Spooner. That's what happened with Spooner too. She's like, okay, you guys want to know about aliens. I know about aliens, but I don't trust you guys. Why would I trust you guys? And by the end of the show, she loved them. And it's just, I really love this show. Like, they show like a lot of progression. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like the other shows did that. So, my last thing about Legends is the Justice Society. So, the Justice Society is like the Justice League, but it's with like their predecessors in a certain sense. And it's also set in the 60s. And I thought it was really cool that they brought them on the show. And I also thought it was really cool how like Professor Steel, it was something with Steel was Nate Haywood's granddad, because it's like, oh, because Nate, his powers are steel based. Like, he could turn to steel to protect himself from dying, because he had this disease of like, if he got a paper cut, he could bleed out. It was something like that. And I really love the progression. Like, well, I'm still talking about progression. I really liked how they had the Justice Society. I don't know, like, I think that's the first live action adaptation I've seen of them, probably. I don't think they did that in. It probably is. I don't know. That's the sound effect. Next is Batwoman. So I only have one thing written down for Batwoman. And that was just that episode where they shot Luke by the police. I mean, he was literally doing the right thing. And I don't know, that was like the first time I watched a TV show showing racial profiling, and I was like, whoa, that's scary. That actually scared me. Like, I could feel my heart racing when they shot Luke. And I don't really know why that like touched me, I guess because it's like, it happened around like 2021, 2022, was like right after the 2020 protests. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't really know if I put that in the positive or the negatives, but that's the only thing I had written down for the show. I have a lot more I can say about the show, actually, and I will. But I feel like, I don't know, that was just like really scary to watch, I feel like. And it's like, that's really scary because it are imitating life. Like, that could actually happen. So I think that's why it scared me. Next, we're going to talk about the introduction of Poison Ivy. So I loved Mary as Poison Ivy. I feel like she had every reason to turn into Poison Ivy. Like, I feel like they did care about her, but they didn't show that they cared about her. She felt like, this is the only way I can get their attention. Actually, I got one more thing to say about Batwoman. I am so sad that Batwoman ended. It got canceled. And I'm so sad because I really wanted to see how Ryan bonded with her brother. Like, I don't know. This is like, I was really excited to see that. And then it now said they got canceled. Then I was like, no. And then Legends got canceled I saw Legends got canceled a few minutes after that. And I was like, but they just introduced Booster Gold. And I love Booster Gold. I've seen him in Justice League. I think it's funny. But like, he was so funny. And the show literally ended with the Legends being arrested. And it's like, what's happened? But like, I feel like the writers Legends was like, we're a loved TV show. Like, Legends was loved. So they're probably like, there's no way they're going to cancel us. And then they got canceled. And it's like, they got canceled on Women's Day, like International Women's Day. And I was like, they probably thought they weren't going to get canceled. And I really wish they didn't get canceled. I wanted a season 8 so bad of Legends. Like, it's really sad. But I don't know. I really wish Batwoman and Legends didn't end the way they did. I wish they got one more season to really end their stories properly, you know? Okay, so this last little category I'm talking about, it's just like, yeah, it's 3 problems I had. Yeah, I had 4 problems against the whole Arrowverse as a whole. So first is talking about this lantern. They kept teasing that John Diggle from Arrow was gonna be the lantern. They even had like a little arc about it on Flash, and then nothing came of it. I feel like they teased it like way back on Arrow, and then they brought it over to Flash, and then like nothing came out of it. The show was not in production anymore. Like, they just shut it down. Also, there was gonna be a Justice U show. I don't really know what that was about, but I would have watched it. Like, that would have been so nice to see. Like, so next is, okay, so we know the trinity of the Arrowverse: Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. But like, how cool would it have been if we had Wonder Woman or an official Batman? Because yeah, we had a Batman on Batwoman, but he was gone. And then they had this like imposter Batman. And I don't know, I really would have loved to see Batman or Wonder Woman, you know. Because we already had Superman, and like, give us two trinities. That would have been so cool. That's all I have for you today. So in a few weeks, I may record another video talking about the crossovers between the Arrowverse shows. Because I started watching them. I watched 2 of them, and I started on the 3rd major one. So I will be talking about those. So stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching. Have a good day.